Recording in progress.
Good morning, welcome to Totter. It's Friday, so getting ready for the weekend, so let's get you moving and do what you can today. If you're a bit stiff or sore, it's a bit damp out today, so some people get aches and pains with the different temperature or the different pressure, so if you need to adjust it, then do, that'll be fine. Otherwise, let's get going. So I'm going to start sitting, but we'll come up to standing fairly soon. So starting with those heel lifts and sit up nice and tall. So what do we mean by sitting up tall? Sit up straight. I say that to my husband because he's a proper cockney, you know, and then I go sit up tall and stand up straight, and he goes like that. And I go, don't stand up like that, just stand up, sit up and lift your chest and then tuck your chin in. But you're still pumping your heels, okay? So think about lovely long spine from the coccyx right to the crown of your head. And imagine there's a piece of string and it's pulling you, lifting you up without lifting your chin. So you've got length through your body. So lift those heels for me. Working through the ankles, the Achilles, the fronts of the legs, fronts of the feet. Okay, take those feet a bit wider and we're going to sway. Lovely sway. It's so good for your hips and your pelvis. And we need to have wide feet so you don't fall over. And we've had a lot of feedback saying that people are loving the wide feet and the stepping wide when we come out of different movements because it keeps you nice and steady. If you do have any little comments for us, send them over because we've got to send our report into the commissioners and they love hearing about how these sessions affect you positively. So it's really good to hear, however small you might think it is. And it might not just be those physical side effects, improvements, it might be mental or emotional or whatever. Let us know, we love to hear. Okay, so heels again, into your march. So big arms, we're going marching, okay, we've got a long way to go, so let's get there quickly. How do we do that? We power through these arms, swing them from your shoulders and soften through the hands. That's lovely. Good. Okay, we're going to do some brain work. We're going to go out and in with a hand and arm. Out and in. If you got a little bit of music, please, Owen. I can't hear anything. So out and in. Can you do it with one arm, one leg? That's it. If you're standing, yeah, it's like a little half a jack, isn't it? Da-da. You can lift your arm up or you can pop that hand down. Up to you. Good. Keep going because we're going to do opposites. So opposite hand to leg. A bit harder in standing. So right leg, left hand. That's it, Cliff. Good, Peter. Lovely. So a little pause, a little pause. Good. Just getting your brains working on a Friday morning. Great. Lovely. Okay, let's go same sides again. So we're going to change opposites. So we're going to go, I have to think now, 4, 3, if I can't do it then. And then both sides, 4, 3, 2, 1, then opposites. Does it make you think? It did me. I'm really having to think. Right, both sides. 4, 3, 2, 1, then opposite. I can only do it one way. I'm going to try it the other side next time, okay? Same side, last time. 3, 2, 1, then 3, 2. It's like that. Hold it there. It's like that rubbing, isn't it? Rubbing your belly and patting your head. Can you do that? Can you do it with the other hand? And can you go rub your head, pat your belly? Can you draw a C shape with your foot? And there's one of those, isn't there? There's a little test. You draw a C shape with your foot and you draw a C shape the other way with your hand or something. It's impossible. Anyway, I digress. So let's roll those shoulders, lift up, back and down. So just a little bit of brain gym there. It's really good to get your brains working. It really challenges your brain. And I was reading up about Alzheimer's and dementia and things because of my lovely sister-in-law. And you know, what can we do to help to stop our brains declining? And it's eating well. Stop smoking, stop drinking so much. I'm not saying that you do, but you know, if you like a lot of tipples, reduce it. Eat well, drink lots of water, exercise, get some fresh air, socialise. Help other people. We know that helping other people is really good for your, not your soul, but for your mindset, for your self-esteem, for your mood. Okay, feet nice and wide, side to side. And yeah, if you smoke, give up smoking. But drink lots of water. And you know, if you like doing puzzles, do them. They're really good for your brain. Do things with your other hand. Challenge your brain. Can you eat left-handed or the other way around? Do those Sudokus, crosswords. It's really good for you. And getting help early is always good. That's it. Good. Okay, little rotation. So if you're sitting, hands just slide up and back. If you're standing, just a gentle turn with nice wide feet side to side. If you're sitting, just sliding up and back. And just slow it down if you want to in seated, because you can really feel that rotation, the twist through the ribs. Try and keep the knees nice and still so that you really get a lovely twist, a lovely rotation, rather than letting your knees. Good morning, John. We're just warming up. You've missed all our brain gym. We've been doing opposite hands and getting all modelled up. I'll send you the video, you can practice. You'll be an expert next time. Lovely. Okay, we're going to send one foot away. Bring it back. 1 foot. Let's do the same with the hands. If you're standing, just do the leg if you want to. I don't want to make you wobbly if you're standing. So 1 foot, 1 leg. No, 1 foot, 1 hand. I think I need to practice my brain gym a bit more, don't I? I'm getting all my words modelled up today. Lovely. Good. And then back to your march. Excellent. Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to come up to standing. So if you want to stay seated, you can. Otherwise, we're up to standing. March your feet at the top. Come round the back of your chairs or your support, and let's have another march again. So really start to pick those knees up now. So picking those knees up in front of you, relax the arms so they're dangling, but we're swinging. And remember, toe heel down, heel toe up. Try not to use a flat foot, even if it's difficult for you, because I know some of you might not be able to go heel toe. Even just that practicing, trying to do it, can sometimes just reset pathways in your body, in your systems. Breathe and smile. It's Friday. It's nearly the weekend. Good. Okay, we're going to step wide. Tap, 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 and tap. And again, you can add an arm. Oh, somebody else is coming in. Good morning, somebody new. Who's that? Lovely. Keep going. I just see who's coming in. Good morning. Good morning. Keep going. I just can't see. Can I see Emily? I know that's Annie. Good morning, Annie. Somebody's in, and I can't see who else that is. Somebody's not got a name on. It says move more, I dot something. Can you pop your camera on for me just so I know who it is? And then you can always come off camera. I don't mind. It's just nice to know who's in the room. So both hands if you can. Oh, is it June? Hello, June. You all right, lovely? Good, nice to see you. So that's it. So tap and lift, tap and lift, tap. Okay, we did this last week. We're going to start to lift. June and Annie, if you've just come in, just don't make such big movements, and maybe don't lift your legs yet because you're not warm, so just carry on with the sway. But everybody else, if you can, I don't hate this exercise. I've got a love-hate relationship with this exercise because I've got an arthritic hip, starts of arthritis, so it's quite painful. And so I understand. What I'm saying is, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm letting you know that I feel empathy for you and I sympathise when you tell me that you've got aches and pains, because I know how uncomfortable it is. But I also know how beneficial it is to keep these joints moving and making them strong, because it will reduce your pain or slow down the deterioration. Okay, so it's really important that even though it's uncomfortable, we move. And I know Sue sends me lovely messages. She's, you know, there's lots of pain with some of you, and we know that you might still have pain, but at least you can move. You can do some things in your day-to-day life that you wouldn't normally be able to do if you didn't exercise. Okay, March. Oh, do you hate that? You might not. You might love that one. I hope you do. Right, feet nice and wide, soften your knees, little circle of the hips. Little circle one way, bend your knees, otherwise you don't get any movement through those hips, and go the other way. Round and round. Round and round, and then reverse. Lovely. Oh, you look lovely. That's it, and reverse again. Okay, we're going in a little square. So we're going to go forwards to the left, right to the front, back right, back left, front left. So I can't keep saying, it's too much for my brain, but in a square. Okay, so you're hitting all the edges of the square, and you really need to bend your knees here. Okay, we're going to reverse. So forwards, forwards, back, back, forwards, forwards, back, and then circle again. So it just means you go into the outside edges of your hips. Okay, march it off again. So little march. Okay, we're going to walk. So depending on how much room you've got, how confident you are, you can just walk forwards to me. Let's just all walk forwards to start with, and then back. So I tend to do little steps when I'm in the studio, just because I haven't got a lot of room, but let's focus on doing bigger steps. So step, 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 tap, step back, back, back. So you can see that I can probably get in 1, 2, 3, 4 big steps, and be careful going backwards. Only go backwards if you're safe. You can always step forwards and then turn if you don't want to go backwards. There's always options. So you keep going. If I'm shuffling, if I'm not lifting, yeah, that's 8 steps. So it's important to make those steps bigger. We get so used to not picking our feet up that we drag them, and we do little tiny shuffly steps, and that's when we trip. That's when we can trip. Okay, so big steps if you can. 3, 4, and back. 2, 3, 4. That's it. Forwards. 2, 3, 4. Lovely. And back. 2, 3. Now, do you walk in a narrow step? Do you kind of walk so you're like on a tightrope, like when we do our tandem? Or do you actually walk with your feet a little bit apart? It's really hard, isn't it, to readjust your gait, we call it, how you walk, if you're so used to doing it. But if you do find yourself wobbling when you're walking, maybe think about taking those feet a little bit wider as you step. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, how do you feel about walking in a circle? So I've got my chair, and I'm just going to walk around my chair, but I'm going to make sure that I clear the chair. So there's no way I'm going to kind of trip over the legs of the chair. When I come to the back, I'm going to do some little steps to turn around, and then I'm going to walk around the other way. Because sometimes we go one way, we lead with one side because that's our dominant side. But you know, sometimes we can't always do that. If we have an injury, if you want to just stay on the spot, you can march on the spot, or you can stay walking forwards and backwards. But it's good to take your time, think about your posture again as you're walking around, because as we start to focus on something else, we lose our posture, and it might be that we then start to slump forwards or we look down at the floor. Okay, so I want you to really be mindful. So mindful walking. So take your time. Mindful walking can be just walking around, just being in the moment now, not thinking about yesterday or your shopping you've got to do later. Just thinking about now, how you feel right now, walking around. And you know, sometimes if you wake up in a bit of a sad mood or a bit fed up, just taking a moment to think about things that you're grateful for and being in the moment now can be really helpful. I got a sleep app, and every day it asks me, how did you wake up? And it's good to just really think about it. That's it. And if you start your day with a positive thought, then the chances are you're more likely to have a positive day than if you think the day ahead is going to be dull and dreary and horrible. You're more likely to have a dull, dreary, horrible day. And I'm not saying you can always change it, but you know, mindset is a wonderful thing. Come to the back of your chair and a little march. Good. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to march and we're going to turn our heads. And then we're going to look to the front. And we're going to look to the other side. And then we're going to look to the front. And look to the side. And to the front. So, why do we do this? Because you can't always look where you're going, can you, when you're marching? When you're walking, somebody gets in the way and you've got to look to the side, or you've got to cross the road, or your dog rushes off somewhere. Mine normally sees a motorbike and he wants to kill it. She wants to kill it. Bless her. So, you know, you have to still walk and be able to look in different directions. Okay. How about you look upwards? How does that make you feel? Not too far, and then look to the front. Still keeping your posture, look down to the floor. So try not to bend in the middle. Look up, and up to the ceiling, and to the front, and then looking down. Good. How do you feel? Just clock it. Sometimes we're worse. Sometimes that looking upwards can make you feel a bit dizzy because it can just pinch some of the vessels and nerves in your neck. So we need to be careful with necks and arthritic changes. Okay, have a little rest. So we're going to do a little bit of balance. I love balance work. And we're going to start with our lovely reach. So balance is always with wide feet. So nice wide feet. Toes are out if you can. And just make sure that you can have the chair there for support if you need to. And we're going to, actually, first of all, no, I need to do this with you. I just need to work on your ankles. So heel, toe, toe, heel. So we should have done that in the warm up, but I forgot. I got carried away with brain gym. So little heel toe movement, just one side for now. So you dig the heel in, lift the toes up, dig the toes in, push the heel. So lots of work, lots of stretching and squeezing here, but we're looking at mobility. You keep going, because this is what I say. Imagine I haven't warmed my feet up and I'm trying to make this movement. Think about that back foot there. Imagine if I haven't stretched it and made it bend. What would I be doing? I'd be kind of lifting it, it's sore, it's stiff, so, or I wouldn't be able to step as far. Other side, heel, toe, toe, heel. So really important that we think about all our joints and muscles. That's why we take about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes to warm up and to move our muscles and joints before we get going. And if ever you're stiff and sore in the morning, then just take 5 minutes to move those muscles and joints, to get them warm, get them lubricated, so that you're ready to go without pain, discomfort, because that's when you hobble, that's when you limp maybe, and that's when you're more likely to not walk properly and maybe have a little stumble. Okay, so now we can do what I was going to do. So we're going to take our weight onto our toes and just lean forwards onto your toes and then come onto the heels. So you can see that I'm not sticking my bum out, I'm just leaning. I'm spreading my toes out within my shoes so that I've got equal balance through all of my toes, and actually my weight is through my big toe, second toe really, but my toes are spread out so that I'm weight bearing through my feet properly. Lovely. And eye gaze is neutral again as normal. So onto the toes and come back down, and then we start to add in that little reach away if you can, and we can change arms, reaching away and coming back in, reaching, coming back in. And if you're sitting, you can still lean forwards and reach up, because this reaching up can be quite scary. That's it. Can you reach with both? If you want to try reaching with both but not coming on your toes, you can to start with, because that's still working on your balance even if you're not on your toes, you know, especially if you're used to holding on. Or if you're not comfy coming on your toes, you can always just reach without coming on your toes. So lots of options there to make you feel safe. Otherwise, up on your toes, whoop. Now, if you don't, I'm not telling you to not do it, but if you don't put your feet, so I didn't do it then, I didn't put my weight through my big toe, your weight goes on the outsides of your feet, and then you lose that stability through your ankle, and that's when your feet wobble. So just really try and focus on that weight through the big toe and the second toe. And it makes a huge difference when you're reaching up or coming off your heels. It's quite strong into the calf muscles. And sometimes it helps to imagine squeezing your thighs together as well. Not your calves, your thighs. Okay, hold it there. Just walk out, lift the heels to rest out those calf muscles, because that's quite strong into your calves. So slightly different, still balance, feet are wide. We're going to reach across and up a little bit and then come to the center. And this is a really good movement for anybody who has Parkinson's or Parkinsonisms, because what we know is that everything's straight forwards, it's straight ahead. So to work diagonally really works on the pathways, on the neural pathways, and your coordination. That's it, across. Lovely, and across. Good, across and up, across and up. Lovely. How do you feel about going across but towards the outside edge of your chair, but down a little bit? And down. So you're kind of reaching, you're not quite, You know, you're not quite reaching down, but you're just leaning to the outside edge of your chair. So let's do a little bit of a challenge. Let's go up and across, up and across, down and across, and down and across. Good. Up and across. Take your time, you don't need to keep up with me. Up and across, down and down. Good. And again, up and across. So rhythms, patterns, we get used to it, don't we? And at first you think, oh, I'm not sure. But then we do it and we go, that's all right. Good. Let's go one more time. Up and up. Lovely. And down and down. Good. And march it out. Fabulous. Now, let's go tandem walking. I love a bit of tandem walking. So this is the most unsteady you'll probably be unless you were crossed over. But we're just going to take one foot in front of the other. So that's your option one. And you can go within the confines of your support, or you can wander off if you feel confident. Or if you're not comfortable with that, feet really close together and just little pin steps with your feet in, tucked in. Now, remember, most important posture. So imagine if I'm leaning forwards and I'm here, my weight's going to go forwards. So if I'm upright, I'm less likely to fall forwards. In tandem, we always, if you're wobbly, I want you to step out nice and wide. Either side, doesn't have to be your front foot, it could be your back foot. So we're stepping forward in our tandem. Use your arms, hold on to something if you need to. If you don't want to walk backwards, again, you can come out, turn around and start again. So not everybody likes to walk backwards. So off we go. That's it. Little tandem. Good. Ta-da. It's like a little Charleston if you just stay on the spot. Da, da, da. Lovely. And then I want you to come by your support, because we're going to practice stepping out. So stay in your tandem, stand, and then with your front foot, I want you to step out nice and wide. And then bring it back in and go again. So we're going out and bring it back in. So you can see that your weight transfers to the side, and then you have to carefully place it back into tandem. Okay, step out wide. So some real focus here on that stepping wide, that balance. So this is what we call the compensatory step. Do you remember that from, she says, falling, wobbling. So we're compensating, we're stepping and stepping out to compensate for our wobble. And that's our recovery step. What we used to do might have been this. And you might not always have a chair. You might be in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of people, and you get a little nudge and you might need to just step. Okay, hold it there. And then I want you to use your back leg to step out. So you might be close to the chair, so just step away a little bit. So just get the feeling, that different feeling of stepping from the back foot, because normally we would go, I'm not sure I can do that. That's my left leg, so I wouldn't normally step with my left, but you might have to one day. So really good to practice it. Lovely. That's it. And it's that transfer of weight again, isn't it? So I'm stepping back and my weight is on my back foot. I'm stepping to the side and my weight is on both feet. And if we were in class together, we would be doing that clock face, and I'd be going 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. That's the same. It's the same principle here. Okay, good. And then just march it out. Lovely. Good. Are we okay? Give me a little thumbs up. Fabulous. Good. Okay, let's step over. So we're just going to step over and back. And I've had lots of feedback about this as well, stepping over, especially with that second foot. So we know you can step over with the first. You could drag that second foot, but we don't want that. We want the second foot to lift as well, like you're stepping over your cat. So that's it. Why is this good? When you're stepping in your car, you've got to lift that leg in, haven't you? If you're in the passenger seat, you've got to lift that leg in, up and over that threshold. Sometimes if you've got a big step, you might need to go down sideways. So you need to lift, you need to have those side muscles working, you need to have them as strong as those muscles at the front so that you can lift your feet out to the side. You know, we've got lots of old cottages in Cornwall, haven't we? And sometimes the steps are quite shallow, then, you know, you can hardly get your foot on them. So sometimes you might have to go down at an angle. That's it, lovely. Good. Okay, march it out. We're going to come into one of my favourites, knee bend. So, feet nice and wide. You don't have to go low. Think about your posture. And you're just going to bend from the hips here. Bend, stick your bottom out a little bit, but when I say stick it out, I don't mean like stick it out like a duck. Bend your knees and then push up. And if you feel like you get into a point and then you're sticking your bottom out, you've gone a bit too far. So you need to tuck your bottom under as it goes backwards. Okay, so tuck it under. I don't know if you can see the difference, so let me show you. So I'm not sticking my bum out, believe it or not. And then I'm sticking my bum out. Can you see? I'm sticking it right out, but it hurts my back. It hurts my lower back there when I'm sticking it out. So I'm just bending, but keeping my bottom tucked under. So squeeze the muscles in the thighs as you push up. And this one might make you warm. You can push down on the chair if you want to, but remember you've always got your legs there to push up off if you needed to. Good. Lovely. So try and look forwards here rather than down. That's it. And then rest. Circle those hips again. This next one's for John when his balls go in the bunker. So we're going to step, lunge forwards as if you're picking something up. Step back, but step back wide. You can go on one side or you can swap sides. It depends if you need to hold on to something, because we're using that hand, the same hand as the leg, to step and reach. Step, reach. I'm not saying your balls go in the bunker, John, but they might do one day. That's it. A little step and a reach. Come back to a wide step. You can do this sitting down. If you're sitting, I can't quite see everybody. So if you're sitting, you're at the front, you step, reach, step back, step. And actually in golf, you've got to do a lot of reaching down, haven't you? You've got to put the ball down, you've got to pick it up. You've got to get it out of the hole when you get your hole in one. Step and reach. Step and reach. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I only know about birdies and your handicaps and things and 4 balls and things. I don't know. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. That's it. And then have a little rest. Bend your knees side to side. A little circle. Circle the other way. Have you got bands with you today? Have you got a band? Oh, actually, hang on. Stay there. I don't think I've got a band saying that. Have a little sit down. Have a rest. No, I haven't. What have I got? Can I adapt? Have you got tins? Yes or no? Just say, if you haven't, say no. Yeah? No? Yes? Let's have a tin. Let's grab some tins. Sorry, I thought I was doing myself a favour. I cleaned out my handbag, you know, when it just gets a bit full of stuff in the bottom, and I tipped it out, and hence left my band at home. So grab a tin or two. If you haven't, a band will do. If you've got a band, that's fine. Same principle. We're working on resistance, so we're resisting the band or the tins, which means that your muscles have to work a bit harder, which is all good. So if you've got tins, pop your feet nice and wide in front of you. So show me your tins and then I'll know who's got tins. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Brenda, good. I can't see Annie. June, thank you. John's got weights, fabulous. So let's do some arm strengthening, some shoulders. So we're going to do that lovely C shape. So hands together. If you've got a band, you can tuck the band underneath your feet. And we're just lifting like a little smile. So a smiley face here. And sometimes it might feel a bit stiff to start with, especially there when you've got a dodgy shoulder. So side on, it's this movement. I'm keeping my elbows bent. And so they're just coming, my hands are coming no higher than my shoulders. That's it. So squeeze your tins for me. Here and back together. And at first it's like, that's all right, isn't it? If we were to do 50, I think you'd not be very happy. Okay, so we're going to bend the elbows. We're going to lift the elbows. So I'm like going to ride a motorbike, yeah? And then we're going to lift the hands. So you're in like a goalpost. Drop the hands, still keeping your elbows up. Lift. And drop. Lift. And drop. So rotation here. If it's too much, I'll let you drop. You're allowed to drop your elbows a little bit. So down. You could do this in front of a mirror. So if I'm naturally doing it, you can see that one of my elbows is higher than the other because this side is a bit dodgy. So, and the dodgy side wants to drop down. That's it. And then bring them back down. Or roll out those shoulders. How does that feel? Is it okay? Okay, palms up, elbows tucked in. Hand to shoulder and hand to shoulder. Did you get a family size yet? I forgot. Family size tins. That's next week. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, it doesn't feel that heavy, but if you squeeze the tin, squeeze your band, then you're working on your strength, grip strength we call it, strength of the hands. Do you notice that you can't open those bottles, jars as easy as you could before? This will help, especially if you can grip with your thumbs, your fingers. That's it, let's go both arms. Squeeze and lower, squeeze and lower, good. Squeeze and lower, keep going. Okay, hold it to the shoulders. So we're going to push out now. Push to me, bring it back in. So shoulder height, push, pull in. Push, pull in. Good. Push, in, push, and in. Lovely. Good. Last one. Okay, just rest out for a second because we're going overhead. Now this one might make you feel a bit warm or out of breath. See how you get on. So hands to shoulders, then let's just do one at a time. One and back, then the other and back, up and back, up. That's it. So trying to really extend that. If it's painful, take it forwards. Sometimes that just takes the pressure off your shoulders to take it forwards rather than up. Or to the diagonal, so kind of 45 degrees there. If you want to do both, you can. That's it. So much harder this one, yeah? Because you're lifting your arms above your head. It's making your heart work harder. You might get puffed out, in which case have a little rest. And it's quite tiring on your arms. Okay, hold it there. Roll out those shoulders. Keep hold of your tins though, because we're going to do triceps, which you know I love. So I'm going to go side on. So my elbow, my hand is coming to my hip. My elbow is going behind me and I'm tucking it right in here. Okay, so it's not out, it's right back. And you need to relax that shoulder off to do it. And then I just straighten my arm and bend. So my elbow stays there and I'm just bringing my hand back in and taking it back out. And because you've got the weight of the tin here, it can feel quite strong. Okay, we're going to hold it back and up and we're going to do tiny little presses, tiny little presses, tiny little presses. Last one, tiny little presses. Then we're going to do the other side. Oh. So set up again, hand to hip. If you can, bring that shoulder, the elbow back, straighten off the arm, bring it back in, straighten. And you can see that my feet are staggered. I quite like this staggered stand, staggered stance, step. It makes me feel safe, but I'm on the diagonal, so lovely. And then we're going to hold it up. So hold it up there and just tiny weeny little presses, tiny weeny little presses, little presses, little presses, little presses. Last one. Good. Oh, lovely. Well done. Are we okay? Roll out those shoulders. So we're going to bring the hands to the shoulders, palms are down, and we're just going to push to me, bring it back in, push, bring it back in, push and in, push, in, push. That's it. So straightening off the arm, bending, lovely. You want to do alternate, so one forwards, one in, other out. Lovely. So you get a little twist as well. So really focus on pushing away as far as you can. Can you push a bit further to me? So you're really reaching and extending through the arm and the shoulder. Good. Okay, let's go both. So both out, both in, both out and in. Da-da, da-da, da-da. You can stay singles if you want to. If you'd rather just do one at a time, you can. It's a lot more pressure when you're taking both out. Pull the muscles in your belly in to help you protect your spine. How are your shoulders? Oh, last one. Dum. Oh, blimey. Breathe. Roll out. Oh, wiggle, jiggle. I think that's enough arms, don't you? Pop your tins down. Oh, just roll again. Lovely. Let's do a little bit of a sit to stand. So feet are nice and wide. Oh, no, they're not, sorry. They're tucked in behind you. So we're going to practice lean forwards. When you get to that spot, push, pump your heels. I'm going to bring my feet in. Walk back. You know the routine. Walk back so you can feel the chest. Push your bottom back. Sit down slowly. Bring your feet forwards. Hip walk. So we're not going fast here. We're going to be here just a few minutes. So hip walk. I want you to really get it. Feet back. Put the weight through your feet, push down through the feet, lean forwards, push up, lift those heels to stop you feeling dizzy. Step back so you can feel the chair behind both of your knees and then you bend slowly down. So try not to go down with a wallop. And that will really work those muscles in the legs as much as when you're trying to stand up, okay? So hip walk, feet back. Lean. This time I want you to lean, lean, lean. Feel that point where you're ready to push, 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 and then off you go. Good. Pump those heels. Step back. We're going to slow it right down to sit. So bend your knees, lower down, touch the chair, and then go down slowly. Good. Brilliant. Oh, lovely. Marvellous. And then hip walk forwards. Can you feel the difference between lowering slowly and a big fat plop down? So lean forwards, feet are back, lean, 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 big push up, pump your heels, and then walk back. Ready? Feel the chair. How slow can you go? How slow? Don't worry if you have to go down, it's fine. Oh, feel your legs. You can feel the back of your thighs touching. Try and go slowly down, slowly down. Oh. Let's go one more time. Well done. Last time. We're going to try and go slowly up if you're safe to do so. Feet back. We'll only do one slowly up. So lean, lean, lean. Weight through the whole foot. You're there. Push up slowly, slowly. Pump your heels. Walk back. Have a little rest, Brenda, if you need to. We're coming down now. So slowly, I know it's tough. It's tough to get up and down. Slowly, slowly. Ooh, I think I sped up too much there. Eek. Da, 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 da. And you've landed. Ah, well done. Can you feel the difference? Because you know, we get so used to feeling the chair and then you sit. You're not using any muscles there at all. A little bit, but slowing it down is really using all of those muscles along the length of your muscles, not just collapsing down in a heap and not using any muscles. So lovely. Let's stretch you out. So let's take this hand and we're going to turn the palm up, put the hand on the shoulder, lift the elbow, give it a little nudge back if you need to. You can hold on to it and then use your head to look up, to lift. This is a good one to practice actually. I like doing this. Breathe. Take that hand, opposite hand down to the chair if you need to. Lift that hand up and take it over your head. Lovely, and lean forwards. Whoa. Good. Other hand. Wiggle, jiggle, turn the palm up, hand to the shoulder. Lift that elbow, give it a nudge, or take your hand over and then sit up a bit further by lifting the chest, lifting the head. Good. Lovely. Breathe. My Pilates lady said, I forget to breathe sometimes and I feel dizzy. And I'm like, I tell them to breathe all the time, but we stop sometimes, don't we? Especially if we're like, okay, drop the other arm, lift the arm and hand over your head. Breathe. And come out of that stretch. Okay, hands behind you. I know. And then we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and take a look up to the ceiling. Just a little lift, nothing too overstretched here, but squeeze in the shoulder blades. Feet are nice and wide. Breathe and relax. Take the ear towards the shoulder, let the head just drop. And I can't stress this enough, just take the tension, take any heaviness away by just letting the head go to one side. And then you feel a big stretch down the side. It's a lovely, lovely stretch. So many of our aches and pains and stiffnesses are due to neck stiffness and tightness and immobility. Okay, lift up. Just have a little move. And then we're going to, actually we'll look up again just to reset. To the front, and then drop the chin towards the chest. And up, and then we're going to drop the other ear to the other side. Just relaxing the head, letting the weight of the head go. Sometimes it helps to dangle your hands down by your sides. And just holding the head there. Lovely. And then we're going to give ourselves a big bear hug. One arm is above the other arm. Give yourself a pat on the back. Well done. Well done, me. And then we're going to swap sides, and other arm goes on top. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And then legs. So straighten off one leg. Hinge forwards from the hips. Point the toe up to the ceiling and just lean forwards. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg and the back of the hamstring there. And then we are going to stretch the calf off. So relax the foot, relax it, and then squeeze the toes up towards the knee. Squeeze, squeeze. And then we're going to point that foot. So point the toes, squeeze up, and point again. Lovely. Other side. Heel comes away, hands go on the other leg, on the thigh, not the knee, and hinge forwards. Lovely. And just feel that stretch again. Really important to stretch out if we've been working through the legs. And we did quite a lot of leg work today, so hopefully you won't be achy over the weekend. Come up to seated, point the toe, squeeze the toe up towards the knee, point, squeeze, hold, point and hold, squeeze and hold. Done. That's it. Right, relax in your chairs. Just 2 minutes of relaxation, just breathing. So just rest. I don't mind if you're not looking after your posture or sitting up straight, whatever. Just sit how you like. But relax your shoulders and relax those muscles in your neck. Relax your feet off, pop your feet nice and wide. Relax your belly, relax your fingers, your toes. Just breathe. So a long deep breath in through the nose and a long slow breath out through the mouth if you can. And just pop your tongue on the roof of your mouth, near your teeth, the back of your teeth. And that just relaxes off the jaw. It stops you grinding your teeth, so if you're a teeth grinder, you can practice that as well. We've got lots of information for you, don't we? So just closing your eyes, being in the moment, breathing. So focusing about breathing into the belly. So as you breathe in, you let your belly swell. And as you breathe out, the belly falls again. And you know, if we've practiced this so many times, hopefully you should be able to do it pretty quickly. Belly rises, belly falls. So powering down, allowing your bodies to just go down, a bit of downtime. Relaxing, recovering, and resetting before you move on to the rest of your day. Just breathing in and out. Just noticing the sounds around you, but not really paying attention to them. Listening to the traffic. There might be somebody out there gardening. You let them do their thing. You just take a couple of more minutes. How do you feel? Do you feel warm? Or are you cooling off a bit? Do you feel stressed or are you feeling relaxed now? There's always time, just time to relax and refocus, re-energize, reset your intention. Just breathe. And then we're going to have a big stretch. However you want to, have a big stretch. Oh. Yawn. Move your toes, move your fingers, move your head, maybe side to side. Take a deep breath in, long breath out. Wiggle jiggle, open your eyes and give yourself a little round of applause for a job well done. So thanks for joining us. We're not here next week, we're in Birmingham or on the way back, so we'll see you the week after, but let us know, we'll send you a video and you can do it all over again. But do your homework and keep safe, keep steady, take care. If you need us, send us a message or give us a call. There, we'll get back to you.